good afternoon, and welcome to the Apex Endurance Championship between the LMP1 cars in one section and the GT3 cars racing each other. As H Racing Green has a massive incident at the S section. So we're just in a little bit of practice before qualifying will get underway shortly. Unless it's already underway. You'll see the LMP1 cars setting the quicker times as they have got the quicker straight line speed, the better cornering, more stability on the brakings, just overall pace. We have LMP Jamie. So I'm going to change this camera. LMP Jamie, H Racing Green, Wolfie, Supra, Speed Y Racer, Risky Racer are your LMP1 drivers. And you have DNA Josh, RNH Wesley, LT Kyle in your GT3s, and Whiteout as well is in a LMP1. Qualifying should be getting on the way in about 2 minutes. So we shall see what the pace is going to be like. At the moment, Jamie, within this practice session, is the quickest driver with a 121.4. H Racing Green not too far behind, 2/10. They are both in the... I'll get it right now. I said it earlier. I'll get it right later. I know is that Y Racer, Supra and Risky are all in the Porsches. As Jamie has a little spin into the final corner, into the gravel, sure to get out of the way, but luckily no one is around anyway. There are 2 cars coming through the chicane of H Racing Green, and another car behind just stops. I remember what it is. It's a Toyota. I swear to God I didn't look it up. It's a Toyota. Jamie and H Racing Green, Y Racer, Supra and Risky all in the Porsche. And you have Wolfie and Whiteout in the Audis. If I've got that wrong, then please fire me as soon as possible. Everyone should be out on track, because being out on track is where you need to be before qualifying for this. Sound of that Mercedes roaring through. Let me just so you can hear me a little bit better. I love to hearing the sound of the cars, but so you can hear me a little bit better. We know this game's extremely loud. So you can just see the pace difference between the GT3s and the LMP1s. Like at the moment, the slowest time set on a GT3, the quickest time set on a GT3 is 10 seconds slower than a LMP1. See the speed boys giving each other a little bit of slipstream. Whether this was intentional or not as you go through the chicane towards the final corner. Looks like we could already be in quali. based on some people being late or some no-shows. Which is a bit disappointing when you want to see some good racing, you want to see a full grid. There's a lot of people in the pits. Just waiting to go out. These guys just getting some lap times in. And here we go then, qualifying is about to start in 3, 2 and 1. .20 of qualifying. Going to be between who's going to be getting out on track first. Everyone's pushing for it. I think Supra's the first car. If I can let me change it. Come on, give me Supra. There we go. Supra, the first driver out on track in the Porsche with a Liverpool style livery. Not a big fan of Liverpool, to be brutally honest, but a good livery nonetheless. Not many sponsors, just Liverpool itself. And behind you have H Racing Green, the Honda. No, Toyota, not the Honda. Toyota. And we're going to meet his teammate of Jamie. Behind. Some of these camera angles are quite spectacular. We'll go back to variable. Obviously, Jamie lets everyone through. He wants clean space with Scurator right behind him, coming into the hairpin. As qualifying is underway, we shall give you a little rundown of the track itself. If only it was ever that easy. So we are at Dragon Tail Seaside in Croatia. 3.2 mile length, 17 corners in total, 5.2 kilometers if you want to be that one of those people. Currently set in the afternoon of 4:30, so a little bit of sunlight shining on, so no real use of the headlights just now. So I'll run you through a little bit of the track itself as well. So sector 1 is an ascent up the hillside, slowest sector on the track, and it contains 2 hard braking zones running to turn 2, and then you'll run just before the end of the sector. First turn must be navigated is slight right, so it's basically turn 1, but it's a fast, full flow right hander. And you go into the brakes in towards turn 2. To go for a left, little chicane, left right. The Supra sets the first quali time of the session. Y-Racer 4/10 behind. Whiteout goes a second quicker than Supra. And then Jamie storms his way to the front, 7/10 quicker than that. And H Racing Green putting himself behind Y-Racer, and Wolfie up to 3rd. Time's coming quick and fast. Fastest time at the moment, 1:21.7. As we know, Jamie is one of the quickest drivers on the grid, and if not, on this game. So let us go down to our GT3. So the Nissan GTR is currently leading the pack for the GT3s. Then you have Josh in his Mercedes AMG, Kyle in the Aston Martin, and we only have 3 people in the GT3s. So unless there's a nice tight battle, I will look on the track map when it comes to the race. This is a 3-way battle, obviously there's going to be a 3-way battle for the lead. If we see some excellent racing, I'll be switching to them, but more cars, more viewings, I should say. for the LMP1s. So we're right on board with ILRT Jamie as he takes us a run through a quick lap. I hope it's a quick lap around Dragon Tail Seaside. So this is turn 1, the little kink on the right hand side, then into turn 2, onto the brakes, and then through the little chicane of turn 3, forward to the fast right hander of turn 4, onto the curbing, and then braking hard into turn 5, and this is where you get to the end of the sector. So he's 2 tenths down on his best at the moment. Now into the S's. I try 4th and then just accelerate through to 5th and 6th. Jamie seems to have no troubles through the section of corners. Down towards the hairpin, where we'll see the end of the second sector split. He's gained some time. He's only half a tenth down on his best through the first chicane and then through the second chicane. These fast corners up towards the final corner. Hard braking perfectly just before you hit the curbs. Around the final corner. Can he improve on the exit? He takes a lot of curving towards the line. He goes quicker by just over a tenth and brings that gap between himself and Whiteout to 8 tenths, who has a further 3 tenths to Y-Racer. Now H Racing Green has slapped himself on the front row with less than a tenth separating the 2 Toyotas. So Y-Racer is ahead of Supla by half a tenth. It is to find 3.5 tenths to be getting himself into the top 3. With his teammate of Risky Racing down in 7th. A further, quite a bit actually. 6 seconds. 6.5 seconds. 6.3 seconds off his teammate. We'll see if we can improve. We're right on board with number 37. He runs very wide into the first couple of corners, hits the wall, spins out, nearly in front of, I think that's the Nissan, it is indeed, of RLH Wesley. As he runs a little bit wide. So the quickest time in the GT3s is 15.7 seconds off. We're looking at a 1:37.2 for Wesley. Look at that quick match. It might be 37.8. 2, 3. Yeah, 3:05. 1:37.305. Have a quick look at the live timing. Something I've noticed quite stupendously is that you can look at the sectors, look at the best laps they're on now as well. You can see Jamie's quickest, see how far off the pace each of them are. So we're looking at about 1.5 second difference between the 3 LMP1 classes. There you go, you've got the Audi. 2 Porsche 919s, another Audi, another Porsche, and your 2 Toyotas, and that's a personal best. Well, Wesley is, he goes 37.2. His closest rival, 8 tenths behind is Kyle. Just going slowly to let the LMP1 cars through in the final sector. Just over 10 minutes to go to the end of qualifying. Then we have an hour and a half of endurance to devour. And we'll see if we can get ourselves a race winner compared to the round 1. second. Classification for that one. So Jamie won it in round 1 with H Racing Green P2, Apex P3, RSA P4, Super P5 for your LMP1. So it's basically the same order it is. So you can just see the pace difference, and then look at the order of the qualifying at the moment. You've got Jamie, H Racing Green, Whiteout, and then Wolfie now in P4. Just 35 hundredths of thousands, 35 thousandths away from speed virus. So it's very close. Like, you've got two drivers very close. As Whiteout goes astonishingly quicker, 2/10 quicker, finding the pace in the final 10 minutes. So it is pretty close on the pace. I've got the timings back up again, so to give you a little rundown. Top 3 separated by just under 3/10. Then you've got P4 down to P6, which are separated by just under 1/10. And then you've got Risky, who's trying to find his pace around this track, 24.9. As you can see, the purple lap times coming again from Jamie, having to find more pace. He had to find 3/10, and he found it. And he had the quickest first 2 sectors, with Whiteout having the quickest final sector. So very close between these drivers. Especially Y-Racer. Guy behind 1/2 guy in front 1/2. Very close indeed. Still all to play for. A little cool down lap. Do that. What does it do now? Chart. Track map's interesting. Tells you where the position drivers are on the course, on the track. You've got Jamie coming through. First, towards the end of the first sector, then you've got a couple of the GT3s, and then you've got more LMP1s. So with Y-Racer, he's got Kyle in front in the GT3, maybe a little bit of slipstream, does get out of the way. Into the first sector, let's have a look at the split time. It is 35 thousandths of a second improvement. He's down 3/10. He's coming into another piece of traffic. DNA Josh, is there contact? Oh, a little bit of out of shape. Oh, it hits the wall and spins. And into the barrier. Caught off guard there from DNA Josh. You do say you have to overtake him carefully, cautiously and sensibly. And he's got a bit of a penalty to get rid of 1.6 at the moment. So he'll probably use this lap, the rest of this lap, to calm it down, start again, go for another. Now look at them all bunched up. Jamie goes even quicker, 21 dead, sets the tone up for the race. He is, funny enough, in the slipstream of Whiteout now. Whiteout becoming his own undoing in the Audi. He's 94,000 down. Kyle said some new qualifying time, but not on pole yet for the GT3s. So the top 3 separated by 4.7 tenths, with a little bit of a gap to Wolfie behind in 4th, and then no improvement yet for Y-Racer or Super Boy, and then Risky 1.6 seconds off the rest of them, 3.4 off Jamie. And you've got got, for the GT3s, you've got Wesley 2.48 tenths ahead of Kyle, and then who's a further 1.1 seconds behind. As Whiteout sets a quicker time, not by much. Jamie's in the pits. 5 minutes to go. Hopefully with the pace of these guys we can see a few battles coming along, so we'll see the battle, probably see a battle between Jamie, Whiteout and Hate Racing Green, and then we'll see a further battle between Wolfie, Y Racer, Super and Risky. And then if there's any contact or anything with these guys, could bring the others into it. As Kyle now goes quickest in the GT3s. 136.8, track just rubbering in a little bit better, and drivers are coming to grips with the circuit's corners, apex, hitting the apexes, braking zones, getting out of people's ways when on laps, and everything else. Wolfie gets himself up to a little bit closer, pulls that gap out to Y Racer, and is now within the front three. By 3 tenths away from H Racing Green. So a great lap from Wolfie there. What you tend to notice in these GT Sport races is that you'll always find that the drivers are quicker in the race than they are in qualifying. Just race pace, lap times are a lot quicker. Y Racer getting a little bit of a boost up from the Super. He's weaving a bit. Probably about to start a fresh lap. He'll get 2 in if he wants to, but at the moment he's going for 1 now. Fresh tyres, super soft probably. I will need to keep an eye on tyres, because it could go down to strategy. It is an endurance race, it's all about managing your fuel load, managing your tyres. How many stops do you need to do? How many stops less do you think you can do? Or do you just go all guns blazing and go for as much speed as possible, but lose time due to just tyre wear and fuel having to pit? So into the S's comes Y Racer. He's up in the first sector by 0.08 of a second. Won't move in position, but give him a little bit more of a cushion to Supra behind. Let's have a look at Supra on his lap. We'll see what he does when he crosses the second sector. Is he up or down? He's down by half a second. Iris is now nearly 4 tenths up as they come through the chicanes, nice and fast, flowing through there. Supra gets out of the way. Iris up to the final corner. To get 4th, he needs 9.5 tenths. But any improvement is just securing him P5. As H Racing Green knocks Whiteout back down to 3rd. Across the, oh, he comes into the bits. Across the line, this is an improvement. No position change, but more of a comfortable gap between the driver behind of Supra. Remaining in qualifying. Let me press the right buttons. Whiteout sets in qualifying time of 21.3, 91 thousandths of a second away from H Racing Green. Jamie going even quicker. Don't know what this boy's on, but he's on an absolute mission, and he's in the 20s. 1 minute 20.6. See if Hedge Racing Green's on a lap. He might want to give himself a little bit of a cushion between Whiteout behind, because Whiteout only has to find a 10th to overtake him. He runs very wide out the exit of the corner just before the first sector split, and he's a little bit of time down, 10th down as he comes into the S's. Now he wants to carry as much speed as he can. This car has the downforce, and he's got himself front for a little bit of a tow. What is his second sector split? Oh, there's an absolute train lane of cars going into the chicanes. This is not going to help his lap time, as his car is probably going to be on a lap time as well. You can see the front of that Toyota. Getting absolutely wrecked, so he wanted to give himself a bit of a more clear air. Does he have enough time to go for one more? 1 seconds to go. He will be crossing the line for one more. Jamie's going slowly, Wolf is going slowly. Carl sets a new time, sets himself pole for the GT3s. 4/10 gap to Wesley behind, who's a further 9/10 ahead of DNA Josh. So can we see anybody on a lap, or is everybody going for one more? Risky and Y-Racer side by side into the final corner, and on the exit as they go towards the line. Slipstream, I believe, will be given to Risky. Let's see if we can improve. Oh, a little bit of contact between the two of them. Qualifier has ended. That is that. We go straight into the race. No formation lap. Standing start as far as I'm aware. No, rolling start as per WEC rules. We've got H Racing Green flashing us there, and Jamie flashing a little bit. So Jamie on pole with H Racing Green second, Whiteout third, Wolfie fourth, Wireless fifth, Super sixth. In your LMP1s, so you got Kyle, Wesley, and DNA Josh as your GT3s. We'll go on board with H Racing Green from the start. See if we can get a better launch. And we are green for racing here at the Dragon Tail Seaside. Jamie gets off to a inaugural start, and I think Whiteout's going to put some pressure onto H Racing Green into essentially the first braking zone on lap 1. No position changes as of now as the LMP1 cars storm away on the GT3, and we can see Y-Racer behind getting put on a little bit of pressure from Super, but it's still as we were in qualifying, single file and same positions throughout these drivers as we go into the S's for the first time. Jamie leads the way from H Racing Green with a little bit of pressure behind. Whiteout and Wolfie not too far behind. It's all about how much speed you can carry through those S's, and you can see these guys starting to pull away a little bit of a gap to the drivers behind. Y-Racer under pressure from Super, with Risky not too far behind as well. Into sector 3 for the first time. Single fire, we don't really want to be going side by side, so it is incredible speeds. Oh, a little bit of a contact with the wall between Whiteout, and not too sure what the damage is like. Surely he'll be able to continue, but putting a lot of speed through those corners to try and keep the gap within a second. The slipstream's very effective, and only really effective if you're within 1.5 seconds of the car in front, or 1.2 seconds of the car in front, so we've got a little bit of a tow. But H Racing Green's got the best view of the house. The rear end of Jamie. Coming to the end of the final sector, and there's contact. Oh, and Wolfie a little bit out of shape coming through turns 3 and 4. But H Racing Green not yet making a move on RLT Jamie as they end the first sector of lap 2. Whiteout now dropping back as Wyracer goes up the inside of Wolfie just before the S's, and they're still side by side, give each other room. They're still side by side through the S's, and I think Wolfie's got that position back, but Wyracer's going to get tucking back into the slipstream. Will he go for a lunge up the inside? Wolfie goes defensive. Wyracer's going to have to go late under the brakes, around the outside into the hairpin. A little bit too late under the brakes, but does he get a better exit? He does indeed, and they could be going side by side into the set of chicanes, but Wyracer thinks better of it and puts the pressure on. As Wolfie hits the wall, he turned in too early into the chicane and gifts Wyracer P4. Mistakes galore this lap for Wolfie. And I'm not too sure what's happened to Risky. He's behind the GT3 cars and not really overtaken them either. This has made a pit stop. Not too sure why he would make a pit stop. He has, and Supra has fallen behind as well. Unless there was contact between Supra and Wyracer. Wyracer has Risky Racer and Supra had contact, and Risky Racer came out worse. Up to the front, the two Toyotas still within 3/10 of each other as they go to the S section. Not too sure how the dirty air is going to help H Racing Greens run through the S's, but it's not causing him any trouble as of yet. Into the braking zone of the hairpin. Nice class driving. A little bit on the grass there for Jamie, but it's probably the optimal racing line for him. Very close to the walls. They've pulled a 2.6 second gap to Whiteout behind, who's not under pressure from speed Wyracer, but as I said, this is an endurance race. It could come down to how many pit stops you make, how hard you push the tyres, how hard you push your fuel, how many times you have to do a tyre change, how many times you have to add fuel. Do you put too much in your pit stop? Do you take some out? Obviously take some out. Do you put too few in just to last your tyres in? Or do you put some in just to make the pit stop, put enough in for the next pit stop not to be as long? This could be an all race long battle. 1 hour and 25 minutes to go. Only 5 minutes gone, and you can just see the gap starting to form, except between these two. Run down the S's once again. H Racing Greens still tucked in behind. This could be his opportunity. He's got the slipstream. He's gaining and gaining and gaining down towards the hairpin. He goes for the inside. Jamie covers the outside. Late under the brakes. H Racing Green takes the lead, but the switchback from Jamie gives him the better exit. And they're still side by side, but Jamie retakes the lead. Audacious but needed move from H Racing Green, otherwise he'd have never had an opportunity. But here we go again. We're going to go side by side into the final corner. H Racing Green had the better run and is going to have the inside and takes the lead away from Jamie. But for how long? Jamie's going to have the slipstream. As they run towards turn 1, Jamie's going to have the inside for turn 1. This is nice and flat. But H Racing Green's going to have the inside for turn 2. Both laid under the brakes, still side by side. Jamie gives the room for H Racing Green on the inside. Very smart racing from both of these. They're not really losing time to the driver behind. Very minimal. But they're going to be dragging each other along. So you have our new leader after 5 laps, or say after 4:15. Chase Racing Green in the other Toyota. We'll go to the GT3s. Wesley has gotten the lead against Kyle, but only 2 seconds to gap. And then Josh is no longer in the lobby. Back to the leaders, the closest back to the track. We'll just double check. Well, this is having just a calm one. He's got a 2.2 seconds gap ahead of Wolfie, but it's slowly dropping back to Whiteout behind. Supra a long way away, and Risky just coming through the S's. And already managed to put a 27-second gap to the bloody GT3 drivers. momentum. Rage Racing Green is still in the lead as he leads. As he starts lap 6. Let's get this out of the way. Get out of the way, Arrow. Don't want it on the screen. Go away. Not a one with Jamie. But this could be Jamie's opportunity to start to save fuel. Save your tyres, really. You don't have to run in power mode. Use all your fuel. You've got the benefit of the slipstream to stay up with Rage Racing Green. And no real reason to overtake him. Back towards the hairpin. Nothing audacious from Jamie. And it looks like Rage Racing Green could be leading for another lap, although Jamie was a little bit out of shape on the exit of the hairpin. Maybe RT Jamie can do what Green did to him in the first place and everything on the corner, but I think he is a little bit too far back. And these guys are starting to catch up to the GT3 drivers. And they have been told, you've got to do it cleanly, you've got to do it in an opportunity where overtaking is possible, like the main straight really. Get by Kyle as easy as that. And I think they're going to get Wesley as well. One does, but Jamie gets held up by the GT3 of Wesley. Does he get through? He does, but he's lost a lot of time. The gap was half a tenth. The gap was less than half a tenth between these two before beating up to the GT3 drivers. And now it's 9 tenths. I wouldn't say any time has been lost to Whiteout behind. Maybe he got held up by them as well, so you can see him getting through quite easily. Although Wolfie now starting to charge down onto Speed Warriors. As they start to catch up to this little bit of traffic. Race is being held up and that gap has dropped drastically down to 2 tenths slipstream. Can Warriors get by the other GT3? He can't, but on the inside goes Wolfie there, side by side, bit of contact between the two of them, and that little bit of traffic has not helped. Warriors said, hey, safe for Shorman, form, and now he's got a 1 second penalty, which I think he can get rid of quite easily. Will he go for a move? Back into the slipstream, up the inside, into turn 2, he does go for it. Starts to ghost for some random reason. He's already got rid of half of that time. And hopefully he can try and hunt Wolfie back down. We see the gap at the front hasn't really changed too much. But we can see the GT3 cars are quite close. We'll keep an eye on that. We'll also keep an eye on this. You've got P1 and P2 fighting it out, and you've got P4, P5 fighting it out, and then you've got the GT3s battling it out for the win. Y-Race is starting to lose a little bit of time now. So Wolfie after making those mistakes has regained some confidence on this track. And as Y-Race makes a huge mistake into the final sector chicanes, and that could be goodbye, farewell to P4 for him. Back to our two leaders then. Gap still hovering between that half a second and 9 tenths, just under a second gap. This could go down to pit stops. I wish I could see what fuel is like within the race or tyre compounds. Probably can, but idea what that is. Select whether or not to use a feature which allows you to switch cameras. Oh, no, I don't want that. I haven't got a keyboard to plug in, so I'm not doing that. Someone at the very, very back. Super gets through on Kyle. That might be risky, that is risky. They say he's a minute and 12 ahead of Wesley. He's 55 seconds behind him. Interesting green. But not too far. It's only 16 seconds behind Super, and Super's only 4 seconds behind Wyrace, and Wyrace has lost even more time. He's now 21 seconds behind Wolfie. Don't think he's made a pit stop, but he's just had a horrendous lap. Back to the front. Hey, Racing Green has been leading. Oh, that's changed now. Don't know whether I like that. That's changed. Oh, I don't like it. All it told me was that what lap we were on. I didn't want to know what position the pit drivers were in. But anyway, 15 minutes in, and these two storming away. I say storming away. Whiteout's only 5 seconds behind. And I'm not too sure what the tyre wear is going to be like. What tyres started on? Probably started on. Definitely started on super. Guys' pace are next to nothing. They're so close to each other. It's unreal. No pit stops yet, 11 laps in. As Jamie's set a very incredible lap times. Pressing triangle, I don't know what it's doing. Gets rid of that. Further behind, Wyrace has still got a decent gap to Supra. I noticed that gap was starting to come down, you can see them close to each other. You got Risky about to be lapped from P1. Neither of these two are making mistakes. None of them are making mistakes. Racing Green is not really under pressure. Well, he's not really feeling the pressure, should I say. Got Jamie behind. We'll have a look at the guys in the back. I don't want to do that. Thank you. Kyle now about to be lapped by Risky, who's also gets lapped by Racing Green. Risky's about to lap the GT3s. He does quite simply and quite easily. How easy does Racing Green take it? Very. Now he's got a lap. Risky, who gets out of the way. Blue flags. Oh, and he gets out of the way stupendously. Jamie's getting held up by Wesley yet again. These two are not doing very well. Like, Jamie's not getting by these GT3 cars as easily as H Racing Green is, and now the gap's over a second. And now Whiteout's getting held up by the GT3 cars. The gap was down to 3 and it's now back up to 4. It's all about where you meet them on track. If you get them down a straight, it's very easy to overtake. If you run into one, say go through those shut corners, then you're a little bit stuffed as the GT3s are in, Kyle is in, Wesley's in. Kyle is already coming out. Did they put any fuel in that car? What's happening to Wesley? He's taking a very long pit stop. He's gone for fuel. I don't think they've fueled Carl's car up. We'll soon find out. As we go back to the leaders, who are yet to pit. Whiteout now coming to lap Whiskey, very straightforward. I hope so anyway. Indeed, and now Whiteout 7 seconds behind these two. And Jamie's now starting to close that gap back down. Supra has got him by Speed Y Racer. I think Speed Y Racer now struggling with grip. It was up to 4th and now is essentially 30 seconds behind Wolfing. See what the leaders can do. I think if Jamie wants to get by H Racing Green, I think he'll do it very easily. I think the opportunity's there, and the opportunity that he's taking is to save fuel and tyres. He doesn't really need to push. He's got no real pressure from behind. These two are both high quality drivers, and neither of them are cracking under pressure. So Jamie's going purple. He's turning the mix up, putting the pressure on now a little bit more. The slipstream's obviously helping. But that gap was a second, and it's now just 2 tenths. It's under 2 tenths as Jamie goes a little bit later on the brakes. So we could see the change of lead once again. Slipstream for Jamie. He sets his personal best, the race's personal best, 1:21.9. Jamie's going to have the inside into turn 1, then into turn 2 of the braking zone. H Racing Green keeps the inside and essentially keeps the lead, but Jamie, it looks like he's trying to get a better run through that chicane. Now towards the next fast right and into the braking zone of the double right. Across the first sector. Less than 2 tenths. To separate these two drivers, you wouldn't want them coming together between essential teammates, but you'd want them coming together just to bring the field a little bit closer. Now I've got the hiccups. That's just great. So Jamie's taking the advantage of pulling the gap back together, but there's just no really good place to overtake it. This little section of corners, you've just got to bide your time, and then you get a little run down to the final corner that if you're close enough it is worth it, but you're then susceptible to being re-overtaking into turn 2. So I think what Jamie needs to do is get right onto the gearbox of H Racing Green, get a better run through the final corner, get in the slipstream, take the outside for turn 1, and then you'll have the inside for turn 2. That would be my game plan, if he wants to overtake. So now coming up to Speed Wire Racer to lap. You can just see the lap times that, or sector times that Jamie's putting in. Benefit of the slipstream, but that means that H-Racer Green's is pushing even harder. And it's probably doing similar sector times, similar lap times. So now this is not a place where you want to be lapping a car into the final sector. I'm sure Mr. Speedy Racer will get out of the way. I'm not too sure whether it will make it difficult as they're coming to lap Kyle as well. H-Racer Green gets through cleanly, but will Jamie? This has always been his trouble. He doesn't get through cleanly, but whereas H-Racer Green does. Not a lot of time lost though this time round. But now H-Racer Green's got the slipstream of Speedway Racer in front. See what they can do. Will he make it easy? Will he make it difficult? He makes it very easy for them as they're now catching up to the GT3 of OLH Wesley, who's now ahead of Kyle, which means Kyle has to stop again. Wolf is in. The first pit stop of the LMP1s that I've seen. Big fuel injection, change of tyres, super softs from the looks of things, going back on. All the fuel you can take, 100% I think is what it's going for. But it's going to be incredibly heavy. And he's away. I think YRS has made a pit stop as well, just because of the sheer gap between them. And Risky's in as well. Fresh tyres. A lot of fuel. Soft tyres going on Risky. It is going a long way into the race. The gap now between these two, a second. Jamie losing a lot of time that lap. And the whiteout is in, so the pit stops have been triggered for the LMP1. Tyres this whiteout decide to go on. Some might say he gets a bit of an undercut, but he has more fuel to deal with. Timed it perfectly with fuel with only 1% left, or 1 litre essentially, or half a litre. And away he goes. Super soft. And 100% of fuel. That's cost him 26 seconds, pit stop 26 to 27 seconds. That's change tyres and all your fuel going back in 100% from zero essentially. Let's go right in front of Wolf, and Wolf has obviously come out in front of Y-Racer. Well, one of these in front. Will one of the leaders dive into the pits as the get round Risky Racer yet again? But it's affected H-Racer Green's exit. Jamie got through smoothly, and now we can see a change for the lead. Jamie in the slipstream. H-Racer Green to turn 1. We'll go defensive. Jamie's even thinking about it, but doesn't go for the move up the inside in turn 2. And stays put behind H-Racer Green. This could be anyone's race. We're 27 minutes in, and still only half a second separates these two drivers. Pure class. And H-Racing Green hangs on yet again. He's been leading longer than Jamie was. Jamie only managed 5 laps. As H-Racing Green has gone incredibly deep under the brakes into the hairpin, and gives Jamie a little bit of a sniff of an overtake. We go into the final sector chicanes. Out of shape a little bit again on the exit for H Racing Green. And Jamie can feel, smell, taste a little bit of pressure being put on H Racing Green. Tighter line for Jamie into the final corner. And can he get a run now? Slipstream, probably fueled into one. Through turn one, Jamie's gifted the inside, but then is forced to the outside for turn two. H Racing Green under the brakes. Jamie will try and do a little switch back, get a better exit. He does indeed. Smart driving there from Jamie. H Racing Green, I think, has just about got it covered up into the fast right-hander. And hangs on just about. Nothing separating these two as they come into the S's. Threading camera angles this game has to show. This shows the sheer quality and closeness of these two. Into the hairpin. Can H Racing Green get his braking right this time? I think he does. Because I think if he'd have messed it up this time, that could have been P1, P gone. And Jamie would have taken it away. Like taking candy from a baby. So easy, so simple. To say these guys have not pitted yet. They're still not pitting. These guys are on some mad fuel management. And they're extending the gap to Whiteout. So the field's a little bit spread at the moment. I think Whiskey has paused it, but it's getting a little bit tasty between the two GT3s. Wesley goes very deep into the hairpin, and now Kyle might give himself a little bit of an opportunity into the final corner if he gets a better exit out of the final chicane. Not too sure whether he'll have a sniff, but we'll go back to that battle. We'll go back to the leaders as they're coming into the chicanes. Not a flinch yet from either of these two. No one wants to give up. The concentration levels are so high. And we see our race leader into the pits with fresh tyres and some fuel. And we'll see what Jamie can muster in clear air, and can he get an overcut essentially with less fuel but older tyres. A lot of fuel going into H Racing Green's car. He's on the super softs again, and he's got all the fuel he could possibly get. A 25-second pit stop, going up towards probably a 26, and the numbers start to die themselves down. But those fresh tyres are going to help H Racing Green, even though he's got a load of fuel compared to Jamie. Jamie surely now has to pit. Or does he? Has he got enough fuel to keep going? Oh, but surely he'll want to cover off any form of undercut. But you can cover off the undercut anyway. Or just put less fuel in. But that means you've got to save more in the race. So it's up to Jamie. That's where refueling comes into so key, and I think it should come back to Formula 1. Just at the basis that strategy wise it's a lot more stronger, and the pit times are not just all about changing the tyres. So here we go then, Jamie in the pits to cover off H Racing Green. The gap is 26.2. The tyres are changed, the fuel is going in. How much of it? H Racing Green is into the final corner. Jamie is still in the pits. H Racing Green is coming down the main straight. Jamie is leaving. This is going to be tight. Jamie, I think, has got it. And it does indeed. The overcut has worked. Just about, but nothing separates these two. And I think H Racing Green has gotten used to a heavier car, fresher tyres, so we'll be able to pounce on Jamie as he gets used to the conditions of his fresh tyres and heavier car. So if anything, H Racing Green could take this lead back. These two separated by 4/10. These two separated by 3. Does H Racing Green go for a lunge up the inside into the hairpin? He doesn't. Well, I'm sure he's going to stick with him all the way, as they have been doing, lap after lap after lap. Half an hour gone, 56 to go. Third gone, still 2/3 to go, and it's anyone's for the victory. It's into the final corner, the gap's 2/10. H Racing Green, slipstream. It's not the longest of sections of corners, but it is enough for an overtake. Wesley and Carl going side by side. There's a LMP1 car trying to get involved and wants to get through. Wesley will hold on to the GT3 league as Jamie and H Racing Green now coming up to these guys. Not in the best positions, and I think H Racing Green is going to get by both of them. Oh, it's going to be close. There's contact between the two of them and a wall, as well as... Oh, and Wesley gets it wrong through there. Clatters the wall. I don't think having the LMP1s on his case really helped him. But if H Racing Green hadn't got by, that could have been race victory out the window. But now they're coming up to Supra in that Liverpool livery. How easily will he make it? How easy will Supra make it for Jamie and H Racing Green? Supra now. The gap now over a second. This could be where Jamie pulls away and seals himself the victory. He'll really want to do that. He's been stuck. He was stuck behind H Racing Green for most of the first stint. He didn't take pole, but he lost it due to an overtake from H Racing Green after the first 4 laps. But now he has some breathing space. Oh, and is that H Racing Green in the wall? It is, and more mistakes from the second Toyota driver, and that could be any opportunity for race victory over now. The gap's 4.5. That car looks and sounds damaged. And there goes our battle. There's not a lot of battling on track now. A little bit of a shame. Now Jamie's coming up to the back of the white racer. He's got himself up to P5, so where's Supra gone? Supra left? I think Supra left. We'll soon find out. That's Supra. Doesn't say he left. He's disappeared. Kyle in the pits. That's quite early, to say the least. But essentially, he has his pit stop over. To be fair, he did put pit with not a lot of fuel put on. And now Carl behind Wesley with this extra stop in Carl's car. There you go, super left of room. I thought he'd got, but the notification hadn't come up. Leaves us down to 8 motors, 6 LMP1, 2 GT3. And with Jamie getting through on Y-Racer, very simple, very straightforwardly. Not too sure what H Racing Green can do now to secure himself the victory or get anywhere near back close to Jamie. So it looks like without any more retirements, we have our top 3, 5 quite comfortably. Jamie, H Racing Green, Whiteout, and Wolfie 4th, 3 Y-Racer in 5th, Whiskey 6th. See if this gap can come down in the next 50 minutes. But as you could see from the first stint until the mistake made by H Racing Green, you just couldn't separate the two drivers. You just couldn't. It was very impossible for them to pull away from each other. Jamie made a mistake. That gap is coming down drastically. He's surrounded by traffic, and the GT3s are not helping him. He's got through now, but that lap time's that gap time has come down humongously. He's lost 2.4 seconds compared to his personal best on that lap. He's lost 1.2 seconds to H Racing Green. Way more than that actually, it was close to 5 seconds, so it's 2.2 seconds lost. Now you can see he's starting to build that gap up as H Racing Green is now getting caught behind this little bit of traffic. And he's now through, and that gap's now back up to 3.6. So the quicker these guys can get around to the traffic, the better opportunity H Racing Green has to catching up. All being said and done. It looks like he's had a little bit of a spin. Let's blast out through. So we'll keep an eye on this gap. We're now back up to speed, looking to try and get himself another personal best. Failed to set first and best, but compared to H Racing Green, I think he gained about 10th. at around 3.8. We'll see if there's any more action between the GT3s. It's between 1.6. We see the Speed Boys, one a lap ahead of the other, going for a little bit of glory, maybe a little bit of battling. As Whiskey's all out of shape through the S's, trying to keep up with his compatriot teammate. Battling is what we want to see. Even though they're a lap down, I'm sure they'll give us a little bit of class racing. Racer gets on the grass. They're going to go side by side into the final corner, and Racer lets them through. There's contact between the two speed drivers. Not too sure what Racer is doing, but Racer is in the pits, low on fuel, changing tyres. Say a little bit of an early pit stop. Hovering around the 4-second window, so you can see how equal these two drivers are. Kyle is now coming towards Whiskey. You think Whiskey would be a lot quicker being in the LMP1, but it's just a lot of driver error. And Wolfie is in the pits. Whiskey being a lap down at the top 4, is gain or lose anything. No momento, por favor. Yeah, about 5 seconds between Jamie and Age Racing Green, back where it was just before the little incident between Jamie and that LMP1. I'm trying to think of something to talk about. I know what we'll do. We'll talk about this little battle between the GT3s. We see an overtake. Please let us see an overtake. White out in the pits. Wesley Carl side by side into turn 1. And Wesley is through to take that position. Carl doesn't look like he's going to go up the inside again, but there's a little bit of contact. He's got Wolfie right behind him. And I think Wolfie might get them both here. He does indeed in that Audi. And Wesley is through on Kyle. White out again. 100% fuel, or Wesley a little bit out of shape. Kyles gets back into the slipstream. Super is back. No, we won't read that. We won't read what this has said. But anyway. We'll see if Kyle can get back at him. Only time will tell. He's got his window wipers on, but I don't see any drops of clouds or rain in there. Seeing as there's no battle at the front anymore, this is technically a battle at the front for the GT3s. The Nissan versus Aston Martin. I personally prefer the Aston Martin. But here we go then. They've got a risky racer right behind them. Gives him a little flash to let them know he's coming through. Oh, and a little bit of a squeeze from... Oh, and there's contact. A little bit of a squeeze from Wesley, not letting Risky through. And Kyle's got himself a penalty. Maybe because of that contact. It's made. Between them. Can Risky get through now? They're not letting him through. Technically you don't have to, but still. What can Kyle do? Where's he in? Kyle follows him in. Kyle's really underfueling his cars and he stops. Maybe he's just making it a little bit more entertainment. Wants to stick to the driver and get a little bit of a battle going in. How much fuel does Wesley put in? He's coming out. Super soft, 44%. Kyle, 100% soft. So Wesley going for a quicker approach to strategy. I think Wesley will have the pace. Wesley should have the pace on Kyle. It's based on tyres, fuel, and that penalty is still under Kyle's shoulder. Now that gap in front between Jamie and H Racing Green is now 6.5 seconds. You could say he's sealed himself to victory. Kyle's still with that penalty, not able to shake it off, but to shake it off you lose time. apologise for the lacklustre commentary. It's just trying to think about something to commentate on. There's not really a lot of action. See, Wesley's got a penalty. Kyle's still got that 0.9-second penalty. I saw Racer had bagged himself a little penalty as well. So there's not really any real racing to speak about, except for the gap that except for the fact that Jamie's pulling away that gap. It's now about 7 seconds. See, H Racing Green has made a pit stop. Hopefully on these fresh tyres he can make up some ground. Although he's getting caught up to a little bit of traffic. Let's see what he can do. H Racing Green. He's trying to manoeuvre the lapped Wolfie and gets through just about. Losing ground with Wolf, and I think he might lap himself. Oh, there's contact between Wolf and H Racing Green, and if there was any chance for H Racing Green to get anywhere near Jamie, that is now out the window. Jamie did make his pit stop. The gap was 9 seconds before this contact, and now, rightly so, a penalty for Wolfing. Just 4.5 seconds. Might seem a little bit harsh, but when you're doing a Ocon Verstappen, trying to unlap yourself, hey, you know it's going to end badly. Car now ahead of Wesley. Whether Wesley made a mistake or not, I'm not too sure. Well, you should always be concentrating, but when you get to a point where there's no action, you just lose that little bit of concentration. with 18, just over 18 minutes to go. 52 laps. 6 LMP1 and 2 GT3 drivers remaining. I, without any doubts, have to give a shout out to the remaining drivers who have managed to stick it out. Because at the end of the day, it is an endurance. It's all about patience. Like these guys, Whiteout, he is P3. That is a strong result. But he's 30 seconds behind the nearest car. He's a lap ahead of the car, the nearest car behind him, like 1.06, 1 minute 6 seconds ahead of Wolfie. But he's still going because he's going to get a podium. Ridge Racer Green, although he's 13 seconds behind Jamie, and after the first 20 or so laps, they were nip and tuck behind each other. He's still keeping going. Take that P2, and then Y Racer, Risky's in the wall. Y Racer's still going, 3 minutes 50 behind the race lead. Risky's 8 minutes behind, but ahead of the two. Kyle must have made a pit stop because he's now 21 seconds behind Wesley. Fair play to these two for sticking it out. I know DNA Josh left quite early on as well. Final pit stops of the race. As you can see, these guys are about 9 laps down. Jamie's on lap 53. Wolf's on lap 52. Warriors on lap 50. Risky Race on lap 46. we see Wesley right on the back of Kyle. Almost like the Formula 1 games, it can tell you how many laps, what tyres they're constantly on, how many stops they've done. It's all well and good looking at this. So Wesley's just pitted again, but come on. 7 tenths between these two. And now Wesley right on the back of ALT Kyle. An opportunity to take the lead for the GT3 cars. Wesley's through, both with a little bit of a penalty. Wesley with those fresh tyres. Well, these two have been going to and fro essentially all race. That's what you love to see. I don't think these two boys are going to give it up. They're going to take it all the way to the end. There are 9 minutes to go. They're on lap 48, about to start lap 49, but they will get lapped again because Jamie comes around the final corner to follow them as he starts lap 58. It's by Carl with ease. Can he get by through on Wesley? Who knows? That is why you don't really look at a Snapchat while leaving your microphone on. That's just great. But here we go then, Kyle on the back of Wesley going into the hairpin. Wesley doesn't go defensive. Kyle looks like he's going to go late onto the brakes for the move of the inside. Wesley leaves in the space. Kyle gets the better exit. Oh, there's a little bit of contact. I'm sure Y-Race has got a perfect view of this. We're going to go side by side into the S's, or into the chicanes, whatever you want to call them. Kyle gets the move done. Y-Race still can't get through either of them. Would he be able to get by? You don't really want to be throwing away this little battle for me. Wesley's got more penalties. 7 minutes 50 to go. The winner of this could go down on penalties. I'd say about 5 laps to go. 4 laps to go. Maybe even 3. As H Racing Green gets through on these two. I don't know what happened to Y Racer. He may have gone through. I'm hearing a little bit of technical problems for Mr. Speed Y Racer. Speed Y Racer? Speed, Mr. Whiskey Racer. Speed Whiskey Racer. He's having a little bit of trouble with his wheel. The upshifter is a little bit broken, so his pace has dropped off drastically. He's still going, but that's why his pace is a little bit downsided. Does he keep it from spinning? He does. And he tries to go into pits and hits more. There's a GG on that. Back to these two. Kyle's starting to pull away, a little bit more mistake from Wesley. So, we're coming to the end, and to round off my first ever GT Sport stream, to say I've started it on an endurance race is a little bit risky. There has been some boring times, but there has been some quality racing. As there's a yellow flag up the road and it's risky race, so once again, an absolute nightmare. Jamie starts lap 62 with 5 minutes to go. 20 seconds between him and the racer H Racing Green. He could pit and still probably go out in front of him. Whiteout further 55 seconds behind with Wolf right on his tail but a lap behind. Racer just starting lap 59 for himself. Everyone except H Racing Green and Whiteout have been lapped, but Whiteout could get lapped. Coming to the start of the S. Whiteout's coming to the end. See Wolf and Steve staying with him, but I'm not going to stay with Wolfie. As Whiteout comes to start lap 61, 62, starts at 61. That's their ball. Nearly caught. Doing a little bit of a spin. Back to these two. The gap's still half a tenth. 3 minutes to go. up. Ooh, maybe a little bit of contact with the wall may have cost the Nissan at the time. But if Wesley can get rid of that penalty, he'll overtake him just on penalties, because that point, even if you get 0.1 of a second penalty, that'll go up to a second. So it's basically going to finish on track. But here we go then. Wesley's going to have a move. He moves to the inside for turn 1. Gets the move done. Tries to cover the inside for turn 2. And is through. And will get the position. But Kyle could get rid of that 0.1 very easily and stay within the second. All he has to do is lift a little bit earlier into a corner. Keep an eye on the time, and we'll keep an eye on Jamie. The gap's now 37 seconds. Age Racing Green's made a mistake because that gap's come down from 55 to 41. Back to the 2 GT3s. Up the hill and then down again to the hairpin. Wesley, Kyle, and then you've got the ghosted Risky Racer behind, who's having wheel difficulties. What a time to be getting involved in this little scrap. Nothing separating them except for the penalties. But Kyle looks like he's going to try and make a move into the final corner. His nose is literally touching the back end of the Nissan. Nissan goes wide. He's got a 4? What the? Where did that penalty come from? Nah, that's disgusting, game. Why has he got a 4-second penalty? Undeserved. Undeserved in my opinion. Why has he got that penalty? But Wesley gets the move back on Kyle. And retakes the lead. Does he just about? There's no contact there, but 1 minute to go. Where's Jamie on track? He's right behind these two, so that's good. Keep an eye on these two then. As Wolfie starts to chase them too. Wesley, Kyle, and Wolfie right behind. Kyle wants to go up the inside, but Jamie swoops around the outside of both of them. Kyle gets the move done on Wesley. Wolfie goes around Wesley's outside. Risky races there as well. Risky gets by as well. Oh, a little bit of a slide, and Wesley's down to P2. Kyle to P1. With 17 seconds to go. This is going to be, looks like to be the final lap. Right, I see Jamie. He may not have led all of the race. Nobody there. May not have led all of the race. But in the end, he'll be coming across the line first. He gets the hat trick. He gets the pole. He gets the fastest lap. And he comes across the line to win in Dragon Tail Seaside. H Racing Green gets second. Wolf comes across the line fourth. Where are they on track? Risky Racer sixth. Wesley takes it from Kyle. With penalties. Not too sure what happened there. Y Racer coming through the final couple of corners. H Racing Green coming around the final corner. He's had a fantastic race, all except for the second half. It's been outstanding. He kept with Jamie all the way, but he gets a fully deserved P2. Y Racer will be our final driver to cross the line in a comfortable P5. And there we have it. And we have our classification. Carl got 7 seconds worth of penalties. What happened there? So there we have Jamie. I just remembered I turned all the sound off on my end, so there would have been normally other music of. Look at that. Pole position, fastest lap, and the win. Easy peasy. Wesley getting the win for GT3. just ahead of Carl, but a bit of broken penalties between both of them, so we'll see what happens. But I've been your commentator for this endurance race. Next week, where are we going? I'll tell you where we're going. We'll be venturing to... Give me a second. The Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya. Also known as the Barcelona Spanish Grand Prix. There is where we will be racing next week at 9 AM early clock. But same time, same place here. Between at about 25 to 7 UK time. We'll be back live again. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next week. Farewell.